Hello, English 112 students. Welcome to week 6. It's Dr. Mills back with you this week to give you a little bit of heads up on what we got going on for the week. This week, we're in D module. We're covering D4, D5, D6, D7, and D8. In total, you've got 5 things to do this week. 2 of them are connect assignments. 1 is an outline. 1 is just instructions for the proposal essay that's due at the end of Module D. And then probably the one you hate the most is the peer review. That's a discussion board that needs to be posted with sections A and B on your proposal essay. So I hope that a lot of you have been looking forward at the modules and not just kind of doing what was due during the week so that you got an idea about what's coming up. So it doesn't surprise you so much. But just in case, we're going to go ahead and share my screen and then look at the assignments for the week. You should be able to see now, I guess. Hold on. Come on, technology. Yes, you should. Oh, didn't work. Let's see. Let's try it again one more time. Share. Screen. All right, now you can see it. Sorry about that. So what we're looking at again is Module D. We're looking here at the middle of Module D. We're starting week 6 on the 23rd, which is today, and then running all the way down through next week, which is starting of week 7. If you take a look ahead, you can see we're almost done. You have very little left to do. So with week 6, again, I said that you've got a couple of connect assignments. That's here, D6, presenting information, and then D8, which is called making an argument. So both of those are a chapter read and then connect assignments. They both have the concepts have been reduced so that you're not doing 45 concepts. You're welcome. Make sure that you complete those. If you got any questions, you can always ask me. Again, I want to say something really quickly. You're not bothering me when you email me. You can email me anytime you want, 4 o'clock in the morning. I might not answer it at 4 o'clock in the morning, but you're not bothering me. So you don't have to say, I'm sorry for bothering you. Look, it's my job to answer your questions. When you're an online instructor, it's your job to be bothered. To be emailed by students. So please don't be afraid of bothering me. Okay. So we're going to take a look at again the outline instructions for D4. We'll also look at D5, which is the proposal essay instructions. And then I'll talk briefly about D7, D6 and D8. I'm figuring you can probably figure out on your own. You've been doing those all semester. So let's jump in and look at the outline assignment for D4. Again, I want to remind you that you're supposed to be adding things to your research log during the D module. So make sure that you're covering these rules here. You're supposed to have 20 entries by the time you submit the research log at the end of D module. So scrolling down to the outline assignment, here it is. If you click it, you'll see there's a couple things here. There's somewhere where you actually submit the outline assignment. Here are the instructions for the assignment. And then down below, you've got a couple different samples to look at to make sure that you're following the instructions in the samples and the samples. The outline instructions here tell you why this is happening throughout the semester. You focus on a problem or an issue in your career through your own research. You've created an annotated bibliography and done a rhetorical analysis on one of those assignments or one of those sources from the annotated bib. Now you'll write a proposal, and in this proposal, you're going to make an argument about the problem that needs to be solved, but you also propose a solution, some sort of change or action that's based on research you've done and that you found other solutions that you think will work. I'm not asking you to come up with your own solution, but to find one that will work. A proposal has several goals: to prove the problem exists, to explain the past attempts and or past suggestions for trying to solve the problem, to explain the goals and steps in your own solution, and to prove your solution is the best option and feasible, and lastly, to provide a call to action to readers. The argument and appeals. Think about the appeals we discussed in the previous unit. You will not be analyzing ethos, pathos, and logos in this paper, but you should be using ethos, pathos, and logos. You should use those techniques to persuade your audience. Think about how you can achieve that as you plan in the outline. Imagine that your readers do not believe that your topic is a problem, and it is your job to convince them. Imagine that your readers also have potential to make your solution actually happen. How will you employ the rhetorical appeals, clearly stated claims, and effective organization to persuade them that this is a problem worth solving and the proposed solution is the strongest option? For the outline assignment, please submit an outline following the guide below and the samples provided in Blackboard. The outline can be brief or detailed, but please only submit in outline format. Do not send me large chunks of your essay in paragraphs. It's not essay time yet. It's outline time. So don't submit the essay, submit the outline. I'm going to give you a 0 if you submit the essay instead of an outline. I'm going to go ahead and say that now. I want to be able to see the organization you've decided on so that I can offer suggestions before you get too far. While the first two major writing assignments were specific with the required structure, you have much more freedom within the body paragraphs of this essay and the following essay to adapt the assignment to best fit your topic. If I encourage you to take your time, choose deliberate points of discussion, and develop an intentional organization that will make your argument the strongest it can be. No two proposals are going to be exactly the same or the outlines, because all your project solutions are different from one another. If you take a look at this guide, it will walk you through the proposal itself. Let's take a look at that. Are you still seeing that? Let's see. See what you're saying. Yes, you can. The proposal outline guide here, it talks about the problem, multiple paragraphs here. You should do all of these things. Section B are past attempts to solve the problems. Section C are introducing the proposed solution. Section D is steps of the solution. Section E is the feasibility. Can we do it? And section F is the call to action and conclusion. Later this week, you're going to be doing a peer review where you have to actually post your draft of sections A and B. So that means that you need to complete not just the outline, but the writing or a first draft of section A that does all these things and section B that does all these things. So you need to make sure you're doing those this week and that you're able to submit that. I'm going to remove the Wednesday discussion board post requirements this week because that's a lot of stuff to do in just a couple of days. So I'm not going to force you to post it by Wednesday. I would like for you to have it posted by Wednesday so that your students can take a look at what you've done and give you some feedback on that. All right, so let's go back to the discuss Blackboard page. So that was the outline guide. Here are some FAQs, some frequently asked questions that you may have about the outline, and then take a look at the couple sample outlines here. So again, outline is just a plan for what you'll do. Later in the week for the D7 assignment, you will post your actual draft of sections A and B for other people to review. We'll look at that in a second. So let's go back. That was D number 4. D5 is the actual assignment instructions and resources. This is the meat. That explains what to do with the proposal essay. Please read over this information very carefully. This is kind of some repeat information from the outline. I'm not going to read over it again. Here are the required sections. Again, take a look at this document. This is the total essay. It needs to be 6 to 8 pages in length. That does not include the title page. Remember, it's APA, or the references page that comes at the end. Use APA formatting. At least 7 credible sources. 4 of those should be scholarly sources. The rest you may use whatever you'd like. Remember that all of those sources must be located in the research log, or there's a penalty for that. There's some information on your paragraphs here. Synthesizing your research and not just plopping quotes in the middle of your paragraphs. And then information on how to handle paraphrasing and quotes. Write in the third person only, it says. That means that you can't say I in the essay itself. Ensure your voice and style are present while maintaining a professional tone, and so on. Here's a couple sampled essays for you to look at. Take a look at those. Make sure that yours looks like that. Before you submit your essay to me, take a look at the sample and make sure that your sample looks like your essay. I mean, that's the easiest way to see if your formatting looks right. Below that is the rubric. If you have any questions about any of this information, please reach out to me. Again, I'll be here waiting for your calls and your emails. I'm going to post this video in the modules section so that you can get some help with that. Have a good week.